All right, so you're ready to record your first podcast. Do you have a microphone? Who's going to distribute for you? Do you have a studio? What about the editing? All right, everyone relax because I think I have the answer. Anchor app. Yeah, Anchor. It's free. They distribute Spotify, Apple, many more. There's creation tools that allow you to edit and create your podcast from your phone, your laptop, or your personal computer. And the best thing of all, girl, you can make money no matter how many listeners you have. So the answer is simple. Get Anchor. Anchor FM app. Go find it now. Tell them a seat at the table sent you. Hey. I don't know if I have a song in my heart. The last couple of days have been pretty, I don't know, right? Let's get into it. You are tuned into an all new special episode of A Seat at the Table podcast. There is always a seat for you because you matter. We are on a mindfulness journey together, and I'm so glad that you have decided to pull up to the table and give us a listen. This is an interactive experience, okay? What that means is I am talking, you talk back, blah, da, 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 da. All right, everybody's in their feelings. And so first and foremost, let's just get the formalities out of the way. If this is your first time listening, thank you. If this is your last time listening, thank you. If this is your all the time listener listening, thank you. Thank you and thank you. You can find us, A Seat at the Table Pod, all one word on Instagram. You can find me at Galanda Adams. That is GAILONDAADAMS at Galanda Adams on Twitter. I have been really Twitter silent the past couple of days. I actually just got back to the city from being in Orlando with my entire family for the homegoing of my beautiful grandmother who lived to see the ripe and young age of 101. So, for me, this was, the saddest part for me, because I'm not a big funeral girl, but the saddest part for me is always kind of the finality of seeing the person being put underground. That's always like a thing for me. But in light of everything that has been happening for all of us in the news lately, I guess none of us are funeral people. However, the pastor who buried my grandmother said, it's ironic for him because after he leaves doing the internment of my grandmother, he has to then go and do one for a 21-year-old young lady who passed away, I believe, in a car accident. So, it just the ironic nature of having to bury someone who's 101 and also who's 21 in the same day. The fragility of life, and the importance of us just getting the most that we can out of this journey. You know what I mean? And I really hope that in the process of you listening to this show that, as much as we drag the celebrity happenings and all of that stuff, my goal is for always that we explore mindfulness, because honestly, we are all human. And whether you have billions of dollars in the bank or you are poor, and, let me not even say the word poor, because that is beyond a financial state. But you are operating from a place of wealth versus a place of financial poverty. It happens to all of us, and the pain that is surrounding it is no different, So with that said, I guess we will just go ahead and, first of all, how are you? Like take a deep breath. How are you? I really do hope that you're fine, and know that I am loving you and praying for you and embracing you and cheering you on from the sidelines, because no matter what, I think the first thing that we have to acknowledge as friends is that we are here. There is a bunch of bullshit going on in our lives, in our families' lives, in the lives of people that we care about, at work, in the relationship, within. There's a bunch of shit going on, but here's what I know to be true. If you are within the sound of my voice, that means you are here. And if you are here for a reason. And it is in spite of the fact of all of the minutia going on in your life. You are here. You are here. And there's nothing that is more beautiful than the present. And there is no irony in syntax. There's no irony that the present is a gift. There's not the fact that we would use those words in those ways to describe mindfulness and consciousness of the present moment. Those are not inherent mistakes. Those are, in fact, meant for us to acknowledge what being here actually is. So, with that said, I am so glad that you're doing well. I am doing all right. We'll get to some of the things that happened while I was away with my family. We'll get to that in a minute. I just wanted to go ahead and let's just talk about it. All right. So Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, East Coast time, it was made known to all of us that the legendary basketball player Kobe Bean Bryant had in fact passed away tragically in a helicopter crash, along with his daughter Gianna Bryant, along with John Altobelli, Carrie Altobelli, Alyssa Altobelli, Christina Mauser, Sarah Chester, Peyton Chester, and Ara Zobain. I think for all of us, a lot of us are not sports fans. You know what I mean? A lot of us, I think that there are a lot of people who are experiencing the death of Kobe in a different way. I think some of us were huge basketball fans, and for a lot of us, Michael Jordan, though he was arguably the best player of all times, depending on who you talk to, Michael Jordan always seemed older to me, because when I was experiencing him, I was a child. Kobe was someone who we were the same age. He was just a year older than me. So to experience him in that way, it hit different. It was beyond sports. It was like the same way I felt when Aaliyah died. It's like when someone who is the same age or around the same age and you come up with them within your generation even, you have to imagine that Marvin Gaye dying hit different if you came up with Marvin Gaye. You have to imagine that the death of Arthur Ashe is going to hit different if you came up watching him, and I think beyond that, it's he was just 41, Gianna was 13, regardless of the age, it just hit different. I instantly, when it happened at first, I was like, no, man, this they was just saying Will Smith died the other day. Come on. What the fuck, bro? Can't be real. And then TMZ had something up and then they took it down and that was weird. So I was like, man, this shit, we're leaving my grandmother's repast and, so I'm with all my cousins and, we're drinking Hennessy, chilling, taking pictures, whatever, drinking Hennessy in the parking lot like cousins should. And as we're doing that, everybody's like, nah, this shit is real. Kobe's dead, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck? It hit different. It hit on a level of this can't be real. So as soon as I got back to the hotel, I turned on the TV. It's real. You know, niggas was saying Rick Fox died, and I'm like, okay, this is too much for me, you know. Then I found out, okay, Rick Fox is alive, but Kobe is still, like, even at that point when I'm watching it on the news and I hear that Rick Fox is alive, I'm still hoping that, like, this is a joke, like that this woman didn't just lose her daughter and her husband in one fell swoop, that this whole family isn't just wiped out, that someone's father, uncle isn't gone. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like still hoping. And yeah, so unfortunately, Kobe and the 8 other people who tragically lost their lives on Sunday are no longer with us. But, you know, I instantly thought back to one of the like moments that flashed in my head was when Kobe was like taking Brandy to the prom. And I just thought like, yes, honey, like he could have took Monica. He could have took, and that's no shade. That's no shade. But just like understand this for me being this dark-skinned girl, and Moesha was on, and she was like this dark-skinned girl who was fly, who had a lot of like teen angst about her, and she was like our girl. You know, and he was taking this girl like who wasn't like, because at the time, yes, I know that we are embracing Black now. I know that we are, but like, you guys have to understand that I am 40 years old. I remember coming up in a time where like, that's an anomaly. We were not embracing Black. We weren't, you know, shit, we barely do it now. But we're not going to talk about colorism now because that's not what this conversation is about. What it is about was that moment flashed in front of my face. And I just thought to myself, like, damn, like, what an extraordinary life. What an extraordinary life that he had lived. You know, his home country of Italy will be honoring him with a month of silence, I believe. You know, there are a lot of people commemorating him and the 8 others in different ways. It's sad. It made me sad. It just all around, just everything about it. I'm sad. I'm sad. I was fucked up off it, y'all. I was. Like, Sunday night, me and my nieces and my cousin, we hit the blunt and we hit the drinks hard. We hit it hard. We hit it hard, yo. I believe, or maybe that was Monday night. We hit it hard. And your girl threw up, okay? We hit it hard, okay? But I just felt like, oh, man, I don't even want to feel the pain. Like, I don't even want to feel this right now. Like, this is too much for me, and I did not even want to feel it. But nonetheless, after surviving hurling up my guts, I realized that, you know, not much unlike many of us who were not only fans, but who are just empathetic beings and who understand the weight of human life, for 9 people to tragically lose their lives in that way. You know, I am envisioning it like, you know, because I started talking with one of my cousins about wondering what it's like to transition in that moment, because we only know this earthly frame. I can talk. We only know this earthly frame. And I just immediately started thinking like, I hope that they were at peace, you know, like, it was reported that, Gianna and Kobe had actually went to church that morning for 7:00 mass, I believe, in Newport News. And, you know, they came and prayed for an hour and what have you. And, yeah, it's really sad, and it really, I don't know, it just hurts. It hurts. Yeah. So let's just hug each other. Let's just take care of each other. Let's just love each other. But yeah, let's remember him in the right way. Now, listen, we can get into the talk on whether or not the NBA should change the logo, but honestly,